Hey everybody, good evening. Here's Doc Severson for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA trade of the day for Wednesday, the 27th of October. All right, after an extraordinary almost doubling of the price going from 40,000 up to well over, what do we got there? Almost 68,000. So it didn't quite double, but that's a hell of a move in a very short period of time. And as a result, we got into exhaustion at more than one time frame. So range expansion goes to range contraction. Everybody's panicking right now. The market's all red with the exception of Shiba. We'll get to that in a minute. And so what we're seeing is we're seeing a lower high, lower low combination. We're seeing a change in polarity to a downtrend on the daily chart, which if we go out to the weekly chart is simply just a pullback. So it's just a pullback off the highs. And as I've talked about here over the last couple of days, we have the fibs laid out here. I want to see the 50% fib hold up as support. That's the swing test. That's the 50% fib lines up with that. That would be a great place for the price to find support, find a bottom, find some new buying coming into this. If we see it go past that, that might start to sour the market on BTC. And maybe, who knows, we'll see rotation into other assets. That is very possible. But for right now, BTC being down 3% is like really no big deal, unless you're very new to this space. Now, look what's happening at the energy. The daily chart building up a lot of energy. That's exactly what we need to see. This was in exhaustion just a couple of days ago. Weekly chart was in very close to exhaustion. And for all intents and purposes, that was exhaustion. So this could benefit with having a couple of weeks here. This really plays out perfectly if we look at this as being a cup with handle pattern. So if we stall out here for maybe 3 to 4 weeks, yeah, I know we all want it tomorrow, right? But if we have this thing stall out for 3 or 4 weeks up in this area in a nice little consolidation, and if it holds that fib and that swing test at 53,000 or so, that's going to be great for when the energy does build up and this thing explodes out of here on big volume and heads towards the measured move of what we talked about as 100,000. That's not a prediction. That's not telling the future. That's just saying what's in the charts based on the trend and based on the patterns. Ethereum is, after being in really, really good condition, Ethereum is rejected at the highs. So we're probably going to get the same type of shake and bake here. Although the daily chart energy is really good, the weekly chart energy is no problem right now. So technically, this may be just a hostage of guilt by association with BTC. All right, so as we look through the rest of the assets out there, some of these are in bad shape. Cardano is not good. This is not a good pattern. Although we have talked about this in the past before, we've seen the pattern drop out to the downside and then slingshot like crazy to the upside. That may still be on play, but I'd rather not be chasing coins right now that are dropping that much in value. Some of these are much better than others. Like you can see the difference here between Polkadot and Cardano. Cardano is trending to the downside and then breaking to the downside. Well, Polkadot is trending to the upside, just pulling back. Big difference there. Solana, which is one of the stronger ones here. Again, we talked about the fact that this was probably unlikely to break out into new highs. This is the same type of pattern, cup with handle. Let's go ahead and let that build a handle. It's hanging the swing test at 180 just fine so far. Now, Shiba is about the only one really moving today, and it's capturing a lot of attention. I don't know what's going on out there, but the last few minutes just alone, we've seen this thing just blow up. I mean, we've seen it gone, and I almost need to speak in terms of sats here because I can't do decimals of a dollar. But this went from 7,000 to 8,800 in just a few minutes. This thing screamed higher on a lot of volume. So that was probably a news spike based on something. Maybe somebody announced somewhere in some social channel that they were getting into Shiba. It could happen. So my target for this is $1. I hope it's there. It's a long way to go though. Looking at the rest of the market, we've had some coins with some excitement here. This is Aave. Tried to break out above 450, but got hauled back down. You can see the disagreement in price through the expressed volume is super high right now, just because it went all the way up and then went all the way back down again, and that's going to boost the volume. We talked about waves yesterday as well too. This one is still in good shape so far. A lot of volatility today. I don't know what's been hitting the tape today, but it has been very destructive to some coins. You know, things like basic attention token breaking out to the downside. These are not good. There's no guarantee it's going to stay that way. Dash is, you know, again, looking, the coins that are not really in great shape are the ones that are breaking down. So again, this proves again, what I say to people is buy assets that are heading higher in price. Don't chase things that are heading lower in price. Look for things that are heading higher, pulling back and coming down to a great support area. These are all good. So like Solana pulling down to about 180. This could be a trade back up into this range. However, with the weekly chart just now coming out of exhaustion, the monthly chart not even printing yet, this one's going to be a while before it's ready to go. So you can trade within this range, or you can start to accumulate down here at support. Remember, guys, the best thing that you can do is keep your head out of the news, keep your head out of the social media channels, everybody pumping this and shilling that. You know, you just can't make up your mind based on that. The human brain feeds off of that confirmation bias and almost certainly will lead you to the wrong decision down the road. Focus on what the price is doing. It will never lie to you. That's it for today's report. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.